Hey guys, how's it going? We're gonna get a little bit of planting done today, keeping it mellow in the garden. We're also waiting for the greenhouse to get here, and I thought while we wait for that, we would get some planting done. I've got still a horde of plants that I need to get in the ground. So I've got really two things that I really want to focus on today, maybe a third. We'll see how it goes. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you guys the two that I definitely want to get in the ground today, and then depending on when the greenhouse gets here, we might do the third. The greenhouse getting here is not going to be anything exciting. It's literally just going to be them taking it off of the truck and it sitting in the backyard. Actually, I have to move the bricks. Okay, let's go. So the first thing that I've got are these salvias. I've got 3 of them. These are going to go under the magnolia tree. These are the Pink Profusion salvia. They're really, really pretty. I have a couple of them. I need to come in and cut them back. So I'm going to cut these guys in half right now. You can see they finished blooming, so they don't look the greatest, but cut them in half and then they will be extremely happy, and then they will bloom again. 16 inches tall. So they're that leaf right there is probably about as tall as it's going to get. So 16 inches tall, and they're so beautiful. Bees love them. I do see hummingbirds on my salvia pretty often, which is really, really nice. They're full sun lovers. They're hardy in zones 3 through 8, and the blooms on them are really, really pretty. I have a couple of them in the garden already, and so I'm just gonna kind of add to the drift. I believe they're these ones. I've got salvia in so many different spots in my garden. It's ridiculous, and I have all different kinds of salvia. But I really like this style of salvia. I like the calyx on it. I like how they look. Let me show you this tag. So this is what these guys look like. They're really, really pretty. I love the way that these ones look. I don't know, and they bloom. They bloom a lot. They bloom like kind of nonstop. So it's really, really nice. And pollinators just go crazy for them. So it's a really, really good one to add to the garden. The next one that I want to add to the garden is Mangave. And I feel like with Mangave, you either love them or you hate them. And I feel like there's very few people that are kind of in between. I'm one of the people that is in between. There's a few that I really like, and then the rest of them I could do without. They don't really do anything for me. But there have been 2 of them that I really, really like. And so I don't like the really big ones, the one that get like absolutely massive. I don't know. I don't love deserty looking plants, and Mangave are really a desert looking plant. And so I don't typically go for them. But these ones, the 2 that I've added to my garden, I think they're really pretty. Well, one of them I think is more fun than I think it's pretty. It's the Bad Hair Day one. And I've added 2 of those to my garden. And I actually have one in my kitchen on my windowsill in like a head planter. It's really, really, I don't know, it's kind of fun. And that one stays really small. And I like those ones because if it's in the shade, it's green. If it's in the sun, it gets like red and it gets spots. And it's really, really cool. The other one that I really like, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, so I had Proven Winners send me out this one. This is new for 2025. It's the Art and Soul collection called Lavender Lady. I love it. I think it is so, so pretty. I love the shape of the leaves. I typically don't like these style of plants because they're usually really sharp and, I don't know, rough. This one it's got like small serrates to it, but they're not rough at all. So this one is, it says full sun intensifies the colors on it. And it's hardy in zones 8 through 10. It gets 10 inches tall, 16 inches wide. And so it stays really small. So it's perfect for like little landscapes. I love the color of this one. I think it's a really, really beautiful color. All the other Mangave I've seen didn't really do anything for me. Mangave are a cross between a Manfreda and an agave, so they kind of like take the best traits of both, and they make this one plant. Let me show it to you. So this is it. I think it's really interesting. I love the color of it. On camera, it looks very green, but I swear it's a bit more lavender. And I think when I get it in sun, it's going to be even more lavender. But you can see, I don't know, I love the shape of these leaves right here. I think it's so interesting. And you can see how they're like serrated, but it's really soft. And these tips here, see, they're not like spiky, like typical ones. My grandparents had them and they were so sharp. And these guys are not very sharp at all. They're definitely like a little bit sharp, but you could definitely touch them, and I mean, it's not an issue. But I love the look of this. It's very, very green on camera. I swear it's a bit more lavender in person. And you can see some of the new growth has these spots on it, which is really, really cool. So I'm excited to get this one in the garden. This one is also going to go where the magnolia tree is. So let's start by cutting these guys back, and then I'll show you where I want them to go. I got all 3 salvia in one hand. Might be a mistake. I think that is going to be pretty good. I've got the 3 of them tucked in right there, and I think my other 2 are right there. I had, I think, like 5 of them at one point, but a couple of them died. I might only have 3 here, actually. So I've got 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. So 1, 2, 3. And then you come over here. I've got this columbine that's probably not going to last much longer. And then this trio here. And then, isn't that amazing? That's a bee balm. And I love bee balm so much. I think they smell so good. Great smell in the garden. And I mean, look how stunning that is. It's beautiful. They can handle so much sun. I really need to add more and more and more bee balm to the garden. I don't remember which variety that one is, but it does really, really well. They do die back all the way to the ground at the end of the year. So I'm trying to add some things that do actually have some structure in the wintertime. Unfortunately, like I've got Veronica, and then I've got the salvia here, columbine, all that's going to die back. Bee balm will die back, whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, those look really good. And I even got a bucket of weeds pulled, which was really, really nice because there were a decent amount of weeds in here. I still have a few in here I got to take care of, but it is what it is. And then anyways, the Mangave, I'm going to tuck in right here. I think that'll be a perfect little spot for that. So that'll be nice tucked in just like that. And then behind it, look at these poppies. Stunning. So gorgeous. You can see this one's started to make its way out. This is what happens when we hit over 100 degrees. Everything just kind of burns. The sun is just really, really intense here. So I don't know, it's really, really hard on plants, especially plants that are white. It is what it is. Like you can see, like this one is a freshly opened one. So gorgeous. By the end of the day today, I'm sure it'll have some burn on it and it'll end up looking kind of like that guy looks right there. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. These are the Swan's Down poppies, so pretty. And then I also have this one, which is a lilac one. You can see it right here. It's got just a little bit of a lilac color to it, and they're really, really pretty. These are my favorite kinds of poppies. They're so full, they're so gorgeous, and you can see how tall they are. Alliums are starting to fade, and then my Coco Loco Rose starting to bloom again. I don't know, I love those poppies. I think they're so pretty. They performed really, really weirdly this year. I've grown them the last couple of years. Usually they don't just shoot up really tall and then bloom. They'll stay short and then they'll bloom, and then they get taller and bloom, and then taller and bloom, and taller and bloom. These ones, like you can see some of them really, really short. Like that's the top of that plant. Like some of them very short, and then some of them ridiculously tall. I mean, like taller than my alliums right there. I don't understand. So let's go ahead and get that Mangave planted, and then I'm gonna go inside because it is getting to be full sun and it's not safe to be outside in the full sun. So we'll get the Mangave planted and then call it an afternoon. I'll be back this evening to get something else done, I'm sure. See, I like that a lot. It's not overpowering. It's kind of an underwhelming plant, but it's a nice little accent in the garden. I mean, you really see everything else first, and then you kind of see it. So it's really cool to just kind of like fill in little spots with this, especially because it's not going to get absolutely massive. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. I like it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but even when it gets wet, I love the way the water kind of splashes off of it, and then some of the like drops just kind of like just sit on the leaves because I don't know, the leaves, like, I don't know, what are they, like water resistant or something? I don't know, they're really cool. Before I go inside really quick, I want to show you guys this because we planted a whole bunch of plants over here and literally 2 sunflowers made it. These plants that were over here got decimated by slugs. I'm so annoyed about it. Whatever, it is what it is. I've got more sunflowers that I had started, so when they get tall enough, I'm going to put them out. I'm not going to put them out as soon as I'd put out the ones that I planted before. I was a little impatient and I just kind of got them planted. But you can also see a bunch of weeds have popped back up. I just weeded this entire area. Whatever. I want to really quickly wind up. I've got this pink jasmine that I'm going to grow up the telephone pole to try to mask it. So I'm going to wind up some of those tendrils because you can see some of them are pretty long. Perfect. Got the jasmine, lifted up a little bit, came through, pulled all the weeds. I even pulled the weeds that were back there. That thing died. Not a clue why. That was a Pyrrheus japonica. Totally dead. Not a clue what happened there. Kicked the bucket. Anyways, came in here, Turns out I have a couple zinnias left. I've got one zinnia there, one zinnia there, and one zinnia there. Very excited about that. And then I have sunflower, sunflower, sunflower-ish. And then that one is totally being decimated by slugs. Whatever at this point. I don't even know if I care. I've got more sunflowers that I'll get in this area and it'll be fine. When I do plant my other sunflowers, I'm gonna go in with the slug and bug and then I will mulch immediately. That way I don't have to deal with slugs. So I'm gonna go inside, cool down a little bit. And once it cools down this evening, which it doesn't actually cool down in the evening, I'm gonna do a little bit of work. I should have turned it the other way on this side yard. And I got a couple buckets of weeds pulled today. So that was already a productive day. I do have one more plant that I want to get planted today. It is going to go back in this side yard, but now this is in the sun and it's just a little too toasty for me. So I've got this guy right here. It's called like a vanilla spice, something or another. So I'm going to go cool down and I hope all of you are staying safe. I'll see you in 2 seconds. And we are back out. I have decided to not get this plant planted. This is the vanilla spice calithra. I don't know. Never grown this thing. I decided not to grow this though. I think it's the same plant that I have over here. I have a feeling. So I'm pretty sure that this plant is that plant. And everyone kept telling me that that one spreads underground by runners, which I don't mind if that one gets fuller and if some more pop up and it turns into a really nice sized shrub. I wouldn't be upset about that, but I do plan to keep an eye on it, and anything that pops up, I'll kind of probably just pull the extras. But I have a friend who I think this would be perfect at her landscape. She is the one who lives in Corning, and I just did some planters over at her place recently, and I was thinking, she deals with deer. This is supposed to be something that's a bit more deer resistant, so I will take this up to her house, and I'll get it planted there. And I also have 2 Vitex that I'll get planted at her house. So I had originally had Proven Winners send out the Vitex for her house. I just forgot about them. And so I've got 2 Vitex that I want to take up to her place anyways. So I guess that'll be a project I do another day. Vitex are supposed to be really good if you have deer. And the ones that I've got over there are kind of a dwarf size. I think that they get like 6 feet tall or something like that. So they don't get huge like the one that I've got. Actually, I think it's like 6 to 12 feet tall. Where the one that I've got gets like, I think also the same. I think that is the dwarf one. They get massive. And a dwarf one is like 6 to 12 feet tall. Anyways, I'm gonna do that a different day at her house. It's the end of the day. It's still pretty toasty out, but now all of the stone is in the shade. So I think what I'm gonna do is move the stone because the greenhouse is gonna be here tomorrow. So we gotta get all the stone moved so that way I can make sure that we can get the greenhouse here. So in case you've missed it, I have all of this stone. This is Texas limestone in the color Blanco. My plan is to move all of this today. And I think what I'm going to do is just honestly set it inside the greenhouse foundation. The greenhouse boxes, I guess it's 3 crates that are coming, and all 3 of them need to go here. So that way they're close to where the greenhouse is. So we have alley access back here. So that way these guys can drop it off. But currently all of these bricks are in the way. So we're gonna get these guys moved, or all these stones. They're not bricks, whatever they are. Stone it's totally in the way. So I'm just gonna pick them up, set them inside, and then let me show you guys. So I only got 2 corners done. I need to get to work on this, but I really want a large gap. So you can see there's at least an inch gap here. So you can see the front corner has a little bit more of an inch gap, which is fine. I kind of like the really thick gap, and it's going to get filled all the way up with mortar, and it's going to just go all the way up to the edge. These won't have corner pieces on them. These will just have straight pieces. So my next step will be to do the other 2 corners. So that side, and then do this edge, and then basically you fill in like it's a puzzle. So we'll start here, kind of fill in here, and then we'll go to this side, fill in, and then all the way around. And I need to get that done before we can even start on the actual foundation. Or not foundation, this is the foundation, before we can start on the top of the greenhouse. So hopefully I can get this done in the next week. I don't know how exciting these videos are gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be pretty boring. Okay guys, we got 1 wall done today. We'll see what happens. I might try to break it up so I get like 1 short wall done and then go do something else, and then I get 1 short wall done, go do something else, and then a long wall, and I mean, same thing. Just break it up so it's not 1 video or 2 videos of me just putting stone. Is that exciting? I don't know. Tell me what you guys want to see. Anyways, let's move this stuff because I'm so not excited about it. Let's just get it done. Even Freya says it's toasty out here. Right? Is it toasty out here? It's toasty. Okay, we got all of the stones moved into the greenhouse now. Like I said, the original plan was to have it all done before the top of the greenhouse came, but that just didn't happen. That's life sometimes. I did shove the corners into the corner. When these crates come, I really would like to have a little bit of room away from the greenhouse, so I kind of just figured I would leave those ones there, so that way a box doesn't get like shoved all the way up against the fence or anything like that. And then as far as the stone goes, most of it's laying single flat. Some of them are stacked if they're about the same size, so that way, I don't want to say it's organized, but it's like chaotically organized, if that makes sense. So like I can see all of the really, really big stones at a glance. There's another one right there, and then these ones are the same size, so I can see all of the really big stones. There's a big stone there, because I really want to make sure that those ones are kind of like the feature of the greenhouse. I really want to use the big ones up front and on this wall, because those are the ones that you're going to see all of the time. So I want to make sure I use those there, and then small ones can get used on the back, and I really don't care what gets used on that side of the back of the greenhouse, because nobody is ever going to see that. So if it's all just teeny tiny little pieces, that won't even bother me. And I did just use the hose and sprayed myself down, got my shirt wet. It's really warm out here, so I needed to cool down before I actually came on camera. Anyways, it's good. The greenhouse will be here tomorrow. Let me know how you guys want to see the stone being installed. Do you want just 2 days of just stonework videos, or do we want stonework videos and other things integrated into the videos? Let me know. Anyways, I'm gonna go inside. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. The greenhouse will be here. So exciting. Who knows how long it's gonna be until we actually get to building this thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for visiting our garden, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.